This is a Forwardly podcast.
Hi guys, it's Colin.
And Cadence.
Hi guys. It's been a
Hello,
while.
friends.
Good. Hi friends. We haven't seen you in a while. We just wanted to
Well,
quickly
we
say
haven't seen you ever because this is a podcast.
we haven't talked into a microphone and hope that you listen in a long time. We just wanted to quickly give you a little update. We're alive. We're here. We're just working so hard on season 3 and we're trying all these fun new ideas, but also the main reason we've been a little behind is because Cadence and I finally had a real Cadence's whole family and my whole family, just my partner, finally went on a vacation together, family vacation.
We chose a really relaxing week to go to Mexico because there was a hurricane. So it was just, leisurely, no stress.
Full hurricane. We went to Tulum, beautiful place. It was Cadence's first time. I had gone one time, but briefly. So, we were like, yes, let's go. We knew the weather was going to be kind of rainy, but we had no idea. Full hurricane. And when you looked at the hurricane, the map, it was directly headed straight for our little baby house. That it was us, Arrow.
We were the center.
We were the
hurricane.
center. And it was scary, huh? It was kind of
It
spooky.
was super scary. And it was a weird vacation in general for lots of reasons, but it was an experience. All of the kids, I was like, you're going to have this doesn't seem funny now, all these things that are happening, but it will sound funnier when you tell this story to your friends in a couple of years.
I know. No one wants to hear the happy, good stuff. Everyone wants to hear the awful things that happened when you travel. No one's ever cared about the happiness I bring back. It's just
no. They're like, did someone try to rob you?
Did you bribe
Did you get
someone?
lost?
Yes, that's all of it. But it was really.
Did you end up in a foreign prison?
It was really fun, but that was a hurricane. That was my first hurricane ever.
Yeah, mine too.
It was you guys the uprooted trees and stuff. It was pretty intense. So.
Shattered the glass.
So we went on a
intense.
beautiful Mexican vacation and ended up just staying inside and watching movies
in a flooded house.
In a flooded house, it was really fun. But anyway,
it could have been worse though. It could have been worse. So we're grateful that it wasn't.
Absolutely, we're just
way worse.
Humor in all things. We're joking. It could have been much, much worse. And we did get to spend a lot of time together and just totally disconnect. And we were there for some time. So sorry for not telling you in advance. But we're here. We love you. We're coming back. We promise.
We also got to patrol the beaches, which we'll post some pictures.
Oh, yes.
Right at the beginning of the hurricane.
Actually, right at as the hurricane, it was developing in the background.
You could see it.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I can't believe we were on the beach. And Cadence and I and two of her kids and then her husband, we were at the beach and we could see the hurricane coming and everyone's leaving the beach and we're getting pelted by sand. Sand is sloughing off our skin because the wind is, and we're like, we probably
got exfoliated.
Leave. I know. We're probably should we leave? Should we probably go bunker down?
But it was the best. So we tried to because we needed to take pictures and we didn't think we were going to be able to get them because the hurricane was coming for the rest of the week. And so and this was a really nice sandy white beach. And so we turned the pictures to where the side of the sky where the hurricane wasn't visible in the background. And so it's still kind of
But you'll see the
but
trees. You'll see the trees bent over. Oh my gosh. We're just dedicated to getting that picture.
But we needed to show you guys how badly we wanted to patrol the beaches in Mexico.
Yeah.
We needed to do that job.
We had to help someone
had to do it.
Right? During the hurricane.
We were actually clearing the beaches for all of the Mexican officials. We're like, do you need help? We have these official shirts.
That's exactly what I was going to say. We weren't just taking pictures. We were actually patrolling the beach. We were pelted by sand and telling others get out.
You got a helicopter.
Get out of here. Allie shows up on a helicopter.
Get in, Allie. She choppered in. We saved many people that day. Many people.
It was nuts. But anyway, we're just checking and letting you know that we're alive. We love you. We're excited to come back with season 3, and we're going to have so many cool, fun things to share with you. And thanks for sticking in there, guys. Or sticking. You know what I mean.
That's your catchphrase.
Sticking with us.
Sticking in.
All right. So on to the next thing we do. Okay, bye.
But for today, we're going to do what we've been doing with the Best of Pacific Blues Season 2, but with our movie specials. So let's take a walk down memory lane and enjoy some of our favorite moments and our favorite jokes from the movie specials that we've covered over the past season. Enjoy!
But that leaves our 3 gentlemen
Cody,
of the movie.
Mitch, and Hobie.
Cody, Hobes,
Hopester, as Mitch calls him.
Yeah, they really does call him the Hopester. You think we're kidding. That's what
He
Mitch calls
doesn't.
his son, the Hopester. So those three men, and we just want to say that Cody's played by David Chokachi.
Do you remember David
Do you guys
Chokachi? He could choke
remember-
me.
That was actually a good one.
That was
That was so good. David
totally
Chokachi can choke
impromptu.
me. I agree. He was
so
hot.
hot, you guys. So her blonde wig is off. She's now a redhead, and her criminal name is Leslie Stryker. Her non-criminal name, her redhead name is Claire Hodges, and she is so proud of herself. She thinks she has executed this flawlessly.
But she has not.
But
He
no, the body
immediately
just-
floats up.
Within 5 minutes, boop, he's at the top.
And immediately the Baywatch team finds it. Like within 5 minutes, the Baywatch team is there. Full
She's like,
group
he
of
will
people.
never come up from the bottom of the ocean. Boop.
He just came right up.
Yeah.
But the best part of it is the Baywatch team comes. There's all these boats around, and they're like resuscitating this guy, putting him on. They're like, is he going to make it? And they're like, I wonder who could have done this.
So just for a moment, imagine like a section of the ocean where there's like a Baywatch scarab on one side,
100 feet away
and then 100 feet away, there's another motorboat
with the woman on
with
it.
a woman on it and a body in the dead center. So then the Baywatch team gets the body, and they're so confused. Like,
What could have happened to him?
where could this body
Looks
have
like he
come
suffered an
from?
injury. Look over. The girl is fucking crouched down on the boat with her binoculars. And they're like, I still can't figure out what would have happened.
She's literally hiding, staring at them, crawling on her hands and knees, and they're like,
And
I
the
just
boat-
don't know where on earth this would have
Where would this
possibly
body even
come from. There's no other. I mean, there's just that boat with that woman who's crouching with binoculars, but like, she certainly wouldn't have been her.
She's probably
She doesn't look
traumatized.
suspicious.
She's got red hair, not blonde. Something's going on. It's hilarious.
Everyone knows
you guys.
red-haired people don't murder anyone.
Dying laughing because she's literally just right there, hunched over. The most suspicious looking person. There's actually blood at the back of her boat, and they're just like
She's hosing it off.
hosing it off. It's so funny.
She must have like gone fishing or something earlier today. Look at all that fish blood.
So needless to say, they don't make that connection, and she gets away.
So yeah, Mitch is at first like, this is not responsible. You are only 18. She's 20. But Mitch also knows that she's lying. There's no possible way she's really
She's a little
20.
bit
She
older.
looks older than that. But Hobie's like, I believe her. I trust her, which classic
You guys,
18-year-old
let's talk
boy.
about this for a second. It is bonkers. I'm all about spontaneity, nudity, whatever you want to call it. But to meet somebody that day and invite them on an 8-day Alaskan cruise.
Imagine if you freaking hated
Yes,
them.
that's weird. You don't even know anything about them. You literally saved them from fake death.
Mm-hmm.
Your face right now is you are shocked. You are shocked beyond belief.
I'm trying.
Constance's face, her eyes are wide open, and she's staring off, shaking her head. Such mom status. So mad.
'Cause
I could never. Wowee.
She also says there's 2,000 people on this boat, so that means there's at least 1,000 men. And I'm like, yes, any given place you are, it's always half and half.
No kids, no
Right
babies,
down the middle.
no elderly, and it's half and half. She's smart. And my favorite thing is Donna's like drop dead gorgeous, you guys. And she's just
Drop
like,
dead.
I don't know if I'll find a man. I really want to find a man.
don't think anybody wants to
on
sleep
this
with
trip.
me.
Nobody wants to sleep with little old big boob, tight little vag me. I don't know what I was going for with that. I'm like, dude,
Titus me.
they call me Titus in high school.
Titus Donna.
Titus Donna. I'm just, no one wants to sleep with me. And I'm
They
like,
say it's too tight.
they call me too Titus Donna. Oh. And I'm like, Donna, come on, give me a break. And Carmen Electra's like, literally
Too
like,
Titus.
to Titus. T-T-T. T-T-T-T.
I can't.
And Carmen Electra, obviously, she's dating
jeez.
Cody. Her character Lonnie's dating
Mhm.
Cody, but she just is like acting like she's the like that is devastated. She's just like rubbing her shoulder, like
Mhm.
I'm
That's
so
terrible.
I'm so sad for you. This is the saddest thing.
Do
I've
you
heard.
need me to help in any way?
Yeah.
How
Mm,
can I assist
you need me to
you?
touch your tight toes? I'll do it. I'm one of your best friends.
Do we
girl.
need to loosen that up? Because I am here for you. So he runs back to the ticket and he waits in line in the ticket line, and then he just loses patience and he steals the ticket of the person in front of him, runs back,
Mhm.
but doesn't get there in
The
time.
door closes right in time.
But then what does he do?
And this is where Cadence and I were really boggled. He, keep in mind, he waited patiently for a ticket and didn't get on. But then he decides to just,
Now's the time.
now's the time. He just punches the ticket taker, and the ticket taker has a huge gun on him.
Right.
You are a ticket taker for a tram. Why do you have a huge pistol on you?
In Alaska.
The biggest
They're
gun
worried
ever.
about the Grizzlies getting on that tram. You
That's
know.
a big oversight. You pull your gun. You do not have a ticket.
And the bad guy's like, and
Well,
so,
Hobie still has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, Hobie just keeps going, tell me what's going on, tell me
Well,
what's
then
going
the
on.
best part is he's like,
Who are you?
What does it matter?
What the hell is this?
he's like, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, yes, it very much matters at this point.
Yes,
this-
very important.
This is not like you went on a date and you found out someone's not a vegetarian.
I
like,
completely forgot
is
that.
like-
Yes, she's like so bugged that he even said it. It
it
doesn't
And
matter.
I'm like, yeah, it does. We are in a hole in a tundra and a bad guy is shooting us
We are
over
trapped
emeralds.
in an ice crack.
And he keeps calling you Leslie, and you told us your name was Claire. Like, it does matter at this point, girl. I'm about to die.
Everything about this matters. I'm gonna come to my death over emerald sticks on a glacier.
Ugh.
It does
So
matter.
it does matter,
So if you
girl.
could just take a couple seconds to get me up to
explain it.
speed,
Just
that would
explain
be a great thing. He tosses and turns, wakes up. Next, he turns around. What do we see? His new fiance, Allison.
Who looks doppelganger of Stephanie. Literally, she's played by the same actress.
Right. So it's the same actress.
Just get that right.
And she wakes him up and she's like, "Are you okay?" She's like trying to take care
Mitch,
of
baby,
him.
what's up?
And then she says like the smoothest line in history where she's like, "I'm just afraid you don't love me for me. I'm afraid you love me because I look exactly like your dead fiance."
Always a fun chat to have with people.
And he's like post nightmare, like night terror, being like, "No, definitely. And this is the right time.
The right time for her to bring
ask
that
you
up.
if you will marry me." And so he grabs this massive ring from, just happens to be in his bedstand. That's where I keep all my best jewelry.
Buy his
And-
fish food.
fish food and diamond rings, same drawer.
He opens. This is one of my favorite parts.
He gets to the lifeguard,
He gets to Lifeguard
tower.
Tower 10. It's padlocked, you guys, a huge padlock. And it's a tower. And he opens it, and sitting in the dark is freaking Neely.
It's Neely, you guys.
Somehow she drove her Ferrari there, snuck in a window. We don't know how on earth.
In the dark.
In the
There's
dark.
no electricity in the shack.
She had no information of what life tower he was going to be at. Somehow she climbed up in her dress and her business suit.
She's wearing like a mini skirt and a tank. Yeah.
And she sat in the dark waiting for Mitch to come, which are automatically like, there's a lot of questions there. But they start having this
She was
interaction.
waiting for Mitch to come.
There it was, the first one of the episode.
Get ready, guys.
So she is sitting there waiting, and then they have this interaction, which you kind of learn a little bit of background.
Right.
I was getting hot waiting for you.
Then why don't you take a long swim and cool off?
That's a hard choice because I love being hot. I love being wet. But I can always do both.
What do you want?
Well, we could start with a little kindness and respect. After all, we were husband and wife.
No, we weren't. Never legally. Marriage was a null, remember?
Legality has nothing to do with the promises you made to me. Neely, I promise to honor you and love you.
Why are you doing this now? We had something once. A long time ago. It's over, Neely.
Prove it. Kiss me and tell me that I still don't turn you on. You're afraid to kiss me because you know you still want me.
That's right. I want you. I want you to get down off my tower and get the hell out of my life.
So she's like, "You cannot be getting engaged to somebody else. Tell me you don't want me still. Tell me that I don't still turn you on." Which also feels like the worst way to like get back together with someone. We all
Yeah,
are attracted to
that's
someone who's a
toxic.
nightmare.
That's toxic.
But you're not going to get along.
She also has had so many opportunities to just go to his house and tell him
They
this.
live in the same city.
They live in the same city. She knows him. Like, like it just is strange
but
to
she
me
waits
that.
till this moment.
Yeah, it's strange to me that her like kind of crazy ex-girlfriend comes out or
Mm-hmm.
ex-wife comes out like on the hottest day of the summer. That's why it's so hot.
And she also, instead of being like, "I love you still, you were my best friend," instead she's like, you stole like my wedding from me and my ring from me and my life from me, and you owe me all this shit. And I'm like, that's the last reason you'd want to marry someone / the least convincing argument to get back together with them.
Yeah. First, she tries to use her raw sexuality. And then when that doesn't work, she starts yelling at him and getting mad. And he's like, girl, I don't have time for this. I'd want you out of my life. Well, there's this photo shoot going on with
because Lee, JD's girlfriend, is a photographer for a very, very sophisticated magazine. It's called FHM.
Lee, this heat wave, there's 250,000 people coming to the beach today. I can't spare to have any lifeguards work your shoot. No, I'll work it myself. This is my first photo shoot for FHM, Taylor, and I've only got the models today. FHM, for him. Oh, I like that magazine. See? It lets us find out what men are fantasizing about. Exactly.
Insight to what men are thinking sexually.
And they say this. They very smoothly employ it in the dialogue where they're like, oh, FHM, I love that magazine. It really helps us know what men fantasize about.
I'm like, come on.
Men are pretty freaking easy.
Come on, guys.
I'm gonna guess boobs.
Yeah, like these hot girls are all like in their underwear. Like, I wonder what
would turn this guy on.
Like, they need to read it anyway.
It feels like a very basic equation, but whatever.
Cut to a scene of Neely talking to a lifeguard on the beach.
Shakna Lee.
Talking to Lee. And she's like literally having the most bizarre conversation about while Mitch was saving these girls' lives, that he had a boner in his little bathing suit. Like,
no way. No. I think that he was just excited because we had such a good rescue today. Honey, that ocean was cold. He was excited about more than chest compressions. Are you sure? Very observant. Oh my God. You want to know the truth about a guy? All you have to do is hug him, pay attention.
girl, why are you are saving people's lives. I don't care how selfish you are. You're saving people's lives and all you think about is Mitch's bone under his tiny little Baywatch shorts.
You're not paying attention to bringing someone back to life. You're staring at Mitch's boner.
And also the comment from Lee, like maybe it was the excitement of the save. Like, is that something that happens? Like, we're just
your adrenaline gets going.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe it does. I don't know. So that was just a weird conversation. But you can tell that Neely's like all of a sudden
she's feeling so possessive.
She's feeling possessive, and all of a sudden she's like in love with Mitch.
At this moment, we meet like Mitch has spent his day like saving the team, being on guard.
Yep.
He and Hobie are sort of talking, and they're watching. They're watching Allison, who has come to the beach to do her triathlon training in the water, and they're just sort of standing on the beach watching her splash around, and she's like
a 5-year-old.
She's wearing goggles, and she'll like pop up and wave furiously and be like, look what I can do, and then like splash again.
She's like, have you guys ever seen back in the day, Mad TV was the worst. I didn't like it, but there was that guy Stuart.
Yeah.
Look what I can do. That was exactly her. And so Hobie, who is obviously
like,
Mitch's
good choice, Dad.
Mitch's son. Mitch and his son Hobie are watching Allison, and they're just like, okay, cool tricks. So finally, she comes out, and as they're walking towards her, Mitch is like, "Don't be shocked. I know you're gonna like her, but just
don't freak out when
you see her." So Hobie does the exact opposite of what Mitch says. Sees Allison.
Hobie did not follow instructions.
And again, Allison is the actual actress who played Stephanie, Mitch's ex-wife, and Hobie's just
dead fiance.
Dead fiance. I keep saying ex-wife.
How dare you?
Neely is ex-wife, dead fiance. So literally, Hobie's like, whoa.
He does not play it cool at all.
Not at all.
You can see Mitch sort of like elbowing him, like, I said like, not to freak out.
Oh, don't freak. Because Hobie's the first one to see her at this point.
And he's like, it's just gonna have to get used to it.
Yeah. That's where we get introduced to CJ, and
who
now
is doing what?
She's in a meditative practice like state, like she's like sitting in the lotus position and like breathing in and out under a tree that's filled with chimes. You guys, the sound guy forgot to edit out the chimes in the movie,
and there's not just like a set of chimes. It's like every branch of this tree has wind chimes.
It's all metal wind chimes. So she's meditating, and all you can hear is like because they forgot to take that part out.
It's in the middle of a bunch of tourists on beach chairs. course.
forgot. In the background, there's full
There's
barbecues
kids
and
playing.
kids. And she's not even, she's supposed to be meditating, but what
Right.
she's actually doing is just fantasizing about her sex life.
It's just all these flashbacks about red satin sheets.
Her in black leather.
She's rolling around in the sand.
Get it.
making out.
You know what? Get it, girl. Just
I mean,
relive
yeah,
that.
I would be reliving it
Relive
too.
it that, but let's not disguise it as meditation.
No,
That's
no.
a masturbation fantasy.
Because also it's like meditation's all about being in the present moment. So just to be thinking about like, I mean,
Past?
not only are you not meditating, you're like going exactly against doing the opposite thing that meditation is. It's like so actively not meditation.
It's those damn wind chimes. They just knock her. They
Her
just,
concentration.
Her concentration is out. So she's meditating, and sure enough, Lonnie runs up again, Carmen Electra, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I've been looking all over for you.
I can't believe that you're not working." And Pam's like, "I'm sorry, what?"
I'm
Because meditation
always working.
is working. Yeah, thank you.
And she's
very
like, "I've
much.
called you 1,000 times, and you never answer your phone." And this is where CJ says something very casual, but then they just blow past it. She's like, "Well, I have it on vibrate, and it just feels
it
too
feels
good."
so
And
good.
we're like, "That's just a casual thing to drop." Like, "Oh, I'm masturbating to your missed calls," and it
Hey,
could
could
be
you
a-
call me like, I don't know, 20 times in a row? Just real quick. Just do me a
Hey,
favor.
There's
Just
a big
do me
emergency. Just you have to get a hold of me, okay? But I might not answer, okay? But let it ring the full time. Don't hang up.
I just need you to do this for me. Just don't ask questions. At that moment, because she's clairvoyant essentially and knows that the planets are going to bring her past in line with her present, who calls on her little vibrating phone?
She gets a little. I'm surprised she answered it.
She's like, hold on real quick.
Lonnie's like, "Hey,
Wait,
you
wait,
answer
wait,
that?"
wait, wait, wait.
Oh, wait. Because CJ's really putting in effort because she's so enlightened.
And she's like, Allison, I always get my weight. It's not going to be used fighting me. Just you're having your reception here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's going to be perfect. And Allison's like, okay, fine. But we're still getting married on the edge of a volcano. Also, it is worth noting at this moment that the other thing that makes CJ financially viable is she has invented sunscreen
How
wipes.
did we miss this? Oh my god, that should have been her intro. We need to back up premeditation, CJ.
So if you look all around the scene at CJ's Bar and Grill,
Everybody's using sunscreen
Yeah.
wipes. And not only are they using them, it's like those film cuts between, and it's like they're all mumbling. These are really good sunscreen wipes. Like everybody's like, these are really great sunscreen wipes. These are really great. I love these sunscreen wipes. Like it's the best.
looped in audio. I can just imagine someone in
is.
a sound booth just recording that.
Mumbling.
Oh, I really love these
Oh, I really
sunscreen
like these
wipes.
sunscreen
Oh, these are really protecting me from the
I
sun.
won-
Are
I
these
wonder
30 SPF?
I wonder who made these. These are a really great invention. So we totally blanked on that, but that is one of the best things because you guys know those little baby
They look
wipes.
like imagine baby wipes or
Exactly.
Clorox wipes.
But they just put a sticker on it that says CJ's sunscreen wipes. And
And every time you want to reapply, you just take out a little itty bitty swab of this cloth and like maybe swipe it down your arm and get a little bit of sunscreen out.
you guys, the environmental impact, the
So much plastic.
overall use, there's just
So much.
CJ, love you, but those are not the best idea.
Bless
but
your little heart.
everyone in Hawaii thinks they are. So
Yeah.
we just want to side note that's how she's rolling in her money.
Right. And they're like arguing about whose sex life is more adventurous and their part, like what they do in bed.
Well, yeah, at first they're starting like angry
Mm-hmm.
like that, and then it turns into that thing where they're like, they look at each other and it's like, oh,
What are we fighting about,
what
girl?
we're girl power. What are we doing?
I
And
know the way Jesse and Kakoa made up
yes,
when they
exactly.
were fighting about JD.
They fight, and right at the build up when you think Bitch is gonna get slapped, no, it turns
Just a
into
little
funny
giggle.
little giggle. But this is,
But this is why we're bringing this up is for this exact fight that they have and the exchange that comes afterwards. Because Lee says,
Okay. I'm gonna just say this now, even though I know that I'm gonna regret it later. JD screamed her name. When? During sex? Connected to the words, I love you, I love you. A few others that I'd just rather not repeat. Well, why are you telling me this? Because, Kay, I think JD is still in love with you.
sometimes when I'm having sex with JD, or with JD, he shouts, Kakoa, Kakoa, I love you, Kakoa, and other things that are pretty terrible that I don't want to say. And I'm like, I feel like someone
Oh my
shouting, I love you, Kakoa is about as bad as it can get. but I'm
I mean,
not Lee.
we're not professional love experts. We don't know.
No.
But I'm thinking, who does that? Like, of all, like, you're just casually like, girlfriend, let me tell you, my man does the craziest thing.
He shouts someone else's
He
name
shouts out
repeatedly.
your name. Coco, I love you, I love you. Like, when we're having sex, can you believe that? And they're like,
I don't know what it means.
and he says some other pretty gross stuff too. And I'm like, what?
I can't crack that code. But it's
I think he's got something else on his mind. I don't know.
I can't tell. He's just acting different.
Oh my gosh. I mean, should I do something? Do you think he's thinking about something else during sex? And meanwhile, I have a few
Dude, no, girl, don't worry about it. It
No,
happens to
and-
me all the time.
So I was just kind of like looking at her like, bitch, even I, like, what are you talking about?
I'm a robot, and even I know what's happening. I don't have human emotions, and even I know what's going on
So
here.
we're just like dying because it's so weird, and like they keep talking.
And I can't fathom, like, I'm so concentrated having sex that I'm like, how, even if you accidentally,
Oh my gosh,
something
me too. I could
briefly slipped out of your mouth, like your mind for a second, you said the wrong word, but
Panini.
like
Panini.
repeatedly saying a whole entire sentence and someone else's name over and over again.
I know. I'm so
Just-
concentrated on like I'm just like trying to figure out how to move myself and like stay breathing.
And like, am I still like looking in the mirror? Like, am I looking okay? Am I making a weird face? Am I sweating too
I'm just
much?
like so like, oh my God. But like also, you know, you hear those things of like, oh, he shouted someone else's name, which we get. But just to pour a little extra salt on the wound is I love you, I love you. So then he starts crying and it's just I don't know. I think he's trying to tell me something. She's all, girl, you need to read FHM.
If you read FHM, you would know exactly
You'll know
what your man was thinking.
You'll know exactly what. Read my magazine, girl.
Oh my God.
So Penny picks up her little, you know, leopard print suitcase, and she's gonna hitchhike her way out of this junky old town. And sure enough, she gets picked up by the sleaziest guy in the entire Pennies from Heaven universe.
He's a mouth breather, both. That's a practical way to describe him, but also visually, whatever pops into your head when I say the word mouth breather, he's it. And you guys, he's driving his uncle's $1 million Porsche.
Hey, Porsches don't cost $1 million. That's ridiculous. And yes, that's true. So
If you're picking up a hitchhiker, why on earth are you telling her it's your uncle's car? She doesn't know.
It's impress her.
It's your $1 million Porsche for all she knows.
Impress her.
Come on, guy.
So they're going in, and he's basically like, where are you going, Penny? And she's like, I'm going to Hollywood. And he's like, okay, are you going to be an actress? And she's like, I'm going to be a dancer. Then he kind of picks up based off of her completely sparkly leotard she's wearing.
But also she's got full makeup, like
Oh, you guys, the makeup.
drag
you'll
makeup
just see.
to the hill.
So he's kind of like not making a totally out of line question and being like, you mean stripper? Then she pulls a gun on him.
Don't you dare.
Don't you dare. Penny is not a stripper. She's a dancer. And she pulls a gun on him and she's like, I'm a dancer. And he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, she doesn't pull
Back
a
up.
gun on him because she's hitchhiking from a stranger. She pulls a gun on him because how dare he call her a stripper? All you need to know is that there's an accidental murder.
Yes. The prostitute goes crazy and kills both pimps while Penny is peeing. Penny comes back, falls on a knife by accident. The
Accidentally
prostitute.
pushes her on a knife, yes.
And she's like, I gotta get away. I gotta make a getaway. But there is one little thing. Those pimps and prostitutes had saved up a lot of cash.
Right.
Lots and lots
Like
of
a
cash.
full, there's a bag full
Bag
of wads of cash. It's also, if you are making that much money as a
Mhm.
Marilyn Monroe lookalike prostitute on the side of the road in a trailer,
Mhm.
that's what I would be doing. That would be my profession.
I wouldn't want to be getting anywhere else. I'm
You
happy with what I'm
guys,
doing.
Look, if you see the amount of cash, you'll know what I'm saying. Like, if that is that lucrative,
Mhm.
I am there.
Mhm.
I'm there.
So needless to say, Penny is at the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing to do with these people.
Or
but
the right time in the sense that she gets a bag full of cash. However you want to look at
Okay,
it.
yeah, that's
Accidental
true.
murder, but also bag of cash.
So as she's running away from the scene, this guy recognizes her and he's like, did you give me a lap dance at Cheetah's in 1995 for my birthday?
Asterisk. That's a reference to the original Showgirls.
But that's not why I'm even saying it like that. It was his birthday in 1995. That was literally 16 years ago from when this movie was made. Like, this is 16 years later.
Yeah.
You do not remember a stripper at maybe you do. I don't know.
I feel
I don't
like
know.
you're
I don't
missing
know.
the point of Penny. A guy with a flame shirt spotted her in a crowd at a McCoy's out in the
yes.
lobby.
McCoy's.
and-
Macayos.
I mean, what's
McCoy's. It's like a law firm, but still, it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't matter either way.
McCoy and Chandling. So she's got a star quality. So obviously, if
You know
someone with a
what?
star quality
You know
gave you
what?
a lap dance,
I didn't even think about that. Her vagina, her vagina, her breast, her makeup, her hair, her little Farquad bob is just so memorable.
he would remember that for the rest of his
He's
life.
like, I remember that helmet head of blonde,
I
sick
tried.
wig hair. It didn't move the whole
I
time you
tried
flopped
to run
around
my
my
fingers
dick.
through it. It just was bink. This is where also, just to set the tone for the rest of the film, we learn that despite having been given by the gods a gift of insane amounts of money, she has
Rolls and rolls of money.
zero money management skills and does not know how to budget.
Yes, because let's say some time has passed. Okay, we don't know because time doesn't exist. The next scene is at a petting zoo,
Correct.
and she is stripping
Correct.
for 3 men at a petting zoo in a patio.
Who are petting baby goats.
And she has a beer pong, and she's like, next round's on me.
A beer bong.
A beer pong, what did I
Yeah.
say?
Pong.
Beer pong. She's just playing beer pong real quick with them. And she's giving them, she's not in stripper clothes. She's kind of in this weird, almost sailor type of
She's
small-
not getting paid for this.
Yes.
Like, let us emphasize.
you guys,
this
she's
is
not at
her,
work. She's
This
not
is
at
her
work.
casual time. She has handfuls of cash. She doesn't need to work. So
But
she's
yet-
doing this
She chooses to
for
use
fun.
her spare time going to petting zoos and giving these bizarre lap dance to the grossest men.
Sick.
And then she literally throws a wad on the table and she's like, who wants more shots? It's on me. And I'm like, girl,
She-
you do not know how the world works.
It's $100,000, and they are. It's a beer bong made from a Sprite bottle. So I promise you, she could have thrown a 10 on the table, and it would have covered the cost.
Or I don't know, just use your sexuality to your advantage and trick these men into buying you a drink. Like, I don't get what the point. What are you
She's
after,
flipping
Betty?
gender norms on their head.
I
Colin.
think that's what
a
she's trying to do.
pioneer.
She's a
How dare
pioneer. She's
you.
literally like, and you're like, is this where she works? Is this her job? Is her job to entertain people at the petting zoo? We don't know. And if she's doing it, is she stepping way
It's
beyond
so
HR boundaries
confusing.
and stripping with the guests? You don't know.
Stripping with the guests.
Because I was like, maybe she's a petting
Don't
zoo
strip
attendant.
with the animals, please.
And it's just strange because, anyway. So you know that some time has passed and she's spending this money living her life.
You forget something really important.
What?
She changes her name to something really
Oh my God,
sexy.
you guys, you're right. I forgot a key point. She doesn't want to be known as Penny anymore because she thinks somehow people know that. So she changes it to what?
Helga.
Helga. She tells him, she tells Godard that her name is Helga. Yeah, cute name, Penny. Good
job.
thought. Good thought process. You have an opportunity to make such a sexy name up, and you're like,
is Helga.
I'm Helga.
Star dancers.
and I strip at petting zoos. Like, I'm sorry. Also,
No, Helga is totally the name of someone who strips at petting zoos, so it's accurate.
I have a few questions though. Like, what is Godard doing at a petting zoo himself too?
With
like,
his friends with a beer bong.
is he scoping? It was just too many questions. We're asking too many
Oh
questions.
man, we
or
really
whatever.
are.
This is where Penny needs to be like, you're taking me on a date with another woman named Katya who you're not telling
The
me who she
alarm
is.
bells should be going off at this moment.
The bell shaped like Penny's freaking haircut. She should know a thing or two about
But you know
bells.
what? She can't hear the bells because her hair is just a helmet around
Oh
her
my
ears, and you never
God.
see them.
Penny, and she doesn't ask a fucking question
Not
to
one,
Godard. She's
not a
not
one.
like, hey, who is Katya? No, nothing. She's just like,
Hey,
cool.
remember how we were going to go on this date and you showed up with this Russian blonde in the front seat?
Who won't get out of the passenger seat to let me in the back, and you're
Mhm.
pushing me in the back seat with my fur coat at $30,000.
So, no, none of those things happen. And then she asks less questions when he brings her into the foyer of a very fancy aristocratic house where there is an armoire and a chandelier at face level.
The chandelier is at face level in against the wall in front of a mirror. That's how, I don't know if you guys know anything about decadence, but that's how aristocrats decorate their home.
I mean, they walk in almost into making contact with it, and then they'd step to the side to avoid making contact with it.
And I don't know if you guys have ever been to a really nice house, but that's how they're decorated. Chandeliers face level right next to a side wall in front of a mirror.
That's how you know it's really classy. There also needs to be, it also has to be like one stark white wall with a giant armoire on one side, then a mirror, then a face level chandelier, then candles.
Okay.
That's how you really know. She walks in with Godard. He's introducing Katya, and then he makes Helga spin around in circles, and she's still no alarm bells are going off.
Bells.
Okay, she spins a good probably 3 full spins.
Mm-hmm.
Then he says, Helga, I'd like to introduce you to Lord Hortberg.
Lord
Hortberg.
Hortberg.
And at that point, she's like, bye, Godard. Lord Hortberg wants my junk.
Oh, and Lord Hortberg's just laying it on thick. They go to another, I don't know, darkly lit room with just the two of them with the bright light. And
yeah, I couldn't. At first, I thought it was like the back of a car.
I did too. I thought it was the back of a limo, but I have no clue.
But they're also at this giant aristocratic mansion, so who knows where they are.
No one knows where they are, but all we do know is that he lays it on thick, this lord, and he has sex with Helga / Belle Penny.
Belle Penny, like bell pepper.
Bellhead Penny.
So it's really hopeful for Helga. She thinks that she's found love and that she's going to be, all of her dreams are going to come true because she's going to have access to money because she's, like spending her wads of cash willy-nilly.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's going to have an influx of money, and she's also going to have a handsome man to have on her arm. A Lord Hortberg. She's going to be Helga Hortberg.
Helga Hortberg. Oh, no.
She's very excited.
And she gets really excited. Like, she thinks that she has found true love with this man after literally sexting him in the back of a freaking limo, maybe. We don't know. Potential limo. I don't know.
Yep.
And she's just like, he's the one. And he doesn't really speak solid English because he's supposed to be European. They don't really even talk. So Helga has also been friends with this maid. We learned her name is Maria for a long time because they were just shooting the shit.
And we also learned that this is, the only reason I'm bringing it up now is because it comes into play later. Marie is also only doing house cleaning services to pay for her way through detective school.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that in mind, you guys.
But Penny hasn't paid her in a while. And Maria's kind of like, Penny, yo, bitch, you haven't paid me in a long time. I come here every morning. I slowly sift through the things in your... I dress like a stripper and I sift through your random belongings and you haven't paid me. Like, what's the deal? And then Penny's like, shit. Where's my diamond? And this is where we learn that Penny wears this giant diamond around her neck all
Giant's
the time.
a relative term.
It doesn't at all look like you got it at the 25-cent machine at the entrance to Walmart, but she wears it around her neck and she's like, look, where is it? So Maria definitely finds it because she's a fucking awesome maid.
It's her nest. This diamond's her nest egg and she can't find it.
Yeah, she's like, where's this diamond that means so much to me? And Helga's like, you mean right here, bitch? In this purse?
In a crevice on the couch?
And Helga holds it up and she's like, this, if things get real bad, I'm going to take this diamond to a pawn shop and it'll pay for, this is how I'll pay you back,
but
Maria.
Also, Marie
this is how I'll pay you back, Maria.
Well, if things aren't real bad yet and you haven't taken that to a pawn shop, then you should have enough money to pay me.
I know. And also, like, if
Logic.
if your employer has to tell you that, that's a red flag, guys.
But
that's a red flag.
But instead, they have a pillow fight. Marie's totally cool with it. Makes total sense to her. Even though she's a detective, she hasn't put 2 and 2 together. And they decide to hash it out with just a sexy pillow fight.
Yeah, that's pretty much how that scene ends. So she goes to the pawn shop to see, like, what could she get for this diamond?
Guys, keep in mind, this was her backup plan to settle all of her debts.
Penny's entire financial future was put on this diamond.
It's riding on this diamond.
And the pawn shop owner's like, I'll give you $50 or $100. You see little sweet Helga's eyes are just welling up. She's like, no way.
I was expecting at least $125,000.
I know she.
At least. I have debts to settle.
You don't understand. I have an entire life to settle. And I thought this huge diamond would fix that. And he's like, girl, no, get out.
No, he doesn't. He says, he squeezes her boobs and he says, I'd be given willing to give you a little more if you give me something a little more. And she realizes in that moment,
Everyone wants her to be a prostitute.
Penny has a daughter she's lost custody of. This is all taking place while they are actively holding tongs with a hot dog in them.
Yes.
And they keep rubbing the tips of the hot dogs together.
Yes. They're cheersing with the hot dogs they've just boiled. And they're talking about how they're sexually powerful women. Then total childhood trauma, we did learn that Penny has a daughter from Jimmy, who was at the beginning, the skateboarder at the very beginning from Showgirls. And then they have a little cheers, hot dog cheers, and then they sexually eat the hot dogs.
Even though they each have their own hot dog, they decide to put one hot dog between them and Lady and the Tramp that bitch.
Oh my God. It's like, and the funny thing is they're doing it really bad because it's like maybe they don't, I don't know, maybe they didn't want to eat the hot dog like in real life.
Maybe.
So they're doing like
It's
this kind
probably
of,
really
like,
cold at that
yeah,
point.
it's like they're kind of doing this weird like weird face.
I guess I'll put it in my mouth.
But you would that just is the least sexy thing to see another woman lift up a woman and just splash her in the water. Just keep throwing her in the water over and over. It's just
There's absolutely nothing arousing about it, and I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they were like, yeah, this is totally what lesbians do.
Oh yeah, they were like, everyone will be so turned on.
They just mimic
if you do
heterosexual sex. And that's it.
Oh,
Nothing has to
that's
happen.
not
They just have to mimic it.
No, that's not even heterosexual sex. There are no genitals lined up.
True.
In any
I
of
guess
this
I was
encounter.
thinking like physically it sort of looks like it.
I guess, yeah. Because Helga's like her vagina
I'm giving
literally
it too
is in
much
her
credit,
clavicle. Yeah,
probably.
we don't know. We digress. Anyway, they have sex. It's a weird night, I'm sure, for both of them. And you're kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
Goddard has a really cool plan for his two favorite ladies, Helga and Katya. He's getting into films, and they're snuff films. And I don't know if you know what a snuff film is, but it's an actual film of someone being killed, and people pay a lot of money.
No, I didn't think a snuff film was that.
It is.
I
They
thought a snuff
explain
film was
it.
just, in the movie, but not in real life.
No, it's a real thing.
Well, no, I'm sure there's categories, but I've definitely heard of snuff films being like you don't always get killed or die.
Okay, well, I'm
I'm
not going to
pretty
get
sure.
I'm not going to get graphic, but there are certain bullet points that are met in a snuff film. So anyway, Godard is trying to play this off like he's come up with a way to cheat the system. That he's just going to get some special effects guys in. He's going to have Penny and Katya be in these films, and they're going to be pretending to die.
Stop. You're right. It says a snuff film, a pornographic movie of an actual murder.
A
A pornographic film that shows an actual murder. What am I thinking? Scat film? Maybe I was thinking, no.
That scat is
Poop?
animal waste.
Oh, I thought it's animal waste? I thought it was just
Yes.
any kind of waste.
Oh,
I need to brush up on my
Colin.
pornographic films, especially if I'm going to be a high-end escort.
I know. No wonder you didn't start that job. You didn't know what the hell you were talking
I
about.
learned something. I literally thought a snuff film meant like that it was kind of like voyeurism of like weird shit happening. Like that's what I thought it always. I didn't think it was murder, but I knew it was like weird shit. Like you're like stuff that you shouldn't see on camera, like eating. I don't know,
Like murder.
or like I don't want to even say stuff. Like putting
That's why I said.
a dead fish on your tits. That's
there
like a
are-
snuff film.
Oh my God. I was ready to move on, and I was gonna get us out of this fairly
No, I literally just think like
gracefully.
that weird
And
stuff that no one wants to see, like bouncing a dead fish on your
Honey.
titties. Like that's
I just
what
dropped
I
my
had.
microphone because I was just trying to just
Oh,
ease us out of
sorry,
this
guys.
conversation.
Sorry, I did not know, but you.
Like flopping a dead fish on your tits.
Now you know.
Obviously.
Now you know snuff film, so apologize for that.
Now we know
Candace
what
was right.
Colin's into.
Mm-hmm.
All I gotta see is that dead fish a flopping.
And I come a knocking. So gross. Ugh.
Gross. Okay. And all of a sudden we see this boat and it's on the Amazon and this guy's on the boat. He's alone and he's panicking and he's trying to call for help and he can't reach anybody and he's trying to use his radio and it's just not working. So he decides he's going to barricade himself in the boat. He starts nailing any wood he can find against the doors and windows. But
Oh my gosh,
he didn't.
so my heart's beating so intense. Like, what could be happening to this guy?
He didn't take into account the floor of the boat.
Big mistake, Buster. Big
So-
mistake.
All of a sudden,
Big
you
mistake.
You
Big mistake. I'm gonna use that the whole podcast. Big mistake, Buster. Awkward.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring that out because I think they thought it was like funny and charming, but it was so gross. Like the first thing you want your coworker to say to you when you get on a boat is like, "All I can think about is sex out here in the jungle."
Right? It's setting an expect. You're gonna be like, oh god, I'm stuck on a boat with this horn dog. This is gonna be an awful trip. You're already like, Jesus. Now I'm gonna have to like awkwardly smile and be like, okay, yeah, horny. I'm super wet. Let's go. Let's go. Let's be professional. I'm wet. Let's go. just the awkward is just like, okay,
That's my favorite
find this
thing.
tribe.
That you're
I'm wet.
just
Let's go.
trying to appease a pervert. Just I'm totally wet. Okay, great. Yeah,
I'm
let's
totally
move on.
wet. Let's find this tribe. Let's go. It's kind of. I mean, don't you do that when a perv comes up to you? Or is that just you not? Is that not how you drop the conversation? Like, don't do this.
Right.
So the attention's on him, and yeah, Eric Stoltz is not having it.
Oh, he's not at all. And so at that point, because they're passing this totem, J-Lo tells Ice Cube, grab the camera, grab the narrator. We got to get this on film. I'm
That
also
narrator.
I'm also
he needs to be
curious
front and center for that
if the
totem pole.
narrator knows, because if there's no script and he's just a rich guy, like what does he know to say about the totem?
He just gets in front of the camera and he's like, there's a very big, beautiful wooden totem here, and it's very beautiful, and it looks to be a snake. Like, just totally winging
Have
it.
I mentioned we're on the Amazon? I don't know if I've said that
It's
before.
very warm, but there's no first class. Like, you're totally right. Like, what is he supposed to say? Just film the totem.
He has no
Go in
script.
later.
They're just completely winging it as they go down the river. So this part absolutely made me cry laughing. Okay, so they start shooting. The narrator is winging it, just doing his thing. And they're like fully shooting the movie. And then all of a sudden, John Voight's character just crashes into the scene, into the frame of the documentary. And he goes,
Our first piece of luck, a Shirishama idol, although this is the subject of some dispute.
I know what I know. You can accept it or reject it. Leave me at the next village.
He does. They're all like, what the fuck did this guy just crash? And he's like, I know what I know. So intense. And they're like, what the fuck do you know? What are you talking about?
I was like, is he referencing how Eric Stoltz corrected him about the totem? Because that happened like 10 minutes
It happened
prior.
10 minutes ago. He was just stewing over it. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to fuck up the documentary. I'm going to slam in that boat. I'm going to come in with all of my wood. And I'm going to say, you know what? I know what I know. And everyone's like, we forgot about that, John. We forgot about that a long time ago. But he was so proud of himself. He was like the best comeback ever.
When you have a fight with someone and then you lay in bed and you come up with like all the things that you should have said.
Yes.
John Voight's just sitting over to the side, just like, oh, what should I have said? What should I have said? And it comes to him all of a sudden. He jumps in front of the camera. I know what I know. The whole scene is sort of like the Jurassic Park scene with the velociraptors, where they're like waiting from the side to like surprise them.
Clever
And
girl.
I was
Is that the
like-
clever girl scene?
Yes, exactly. And so I'm like, why would an anaconda need the element of surprise? It's 40 feet long. It does not need to lie in wait. It can just slowly come, wrap around the Black Panther. It's gonna dominate. There is no need to be hiding out and then surprising
Like, right?
it.
It's not like a tiny little snake. It's like you just think of the logistics. We are no snakeologists. I don't know. We don't know. But
You don't know my
if
life.
anyone out there listening knows anything about snakes, I'm pretty sure the larger the snake gets, the slower it becomes. So not only are we
Right.
dealing with a creature cam and a huge 40, 50 foot huge anaconda, it's moving at like rapid lightning pace. Everything you do. I mean, you literally do not stand a chance against this thing ever.
No, you don't.
Not only that, it knows how to boop out nails from the bottom of your floor.
Oh,
it can
it's
get a
got
panther.
all kinds of like fine motor skills.
He's got
Let's
so
not
fine
even get into that.
He's full smart. The genius anaconda. So
He's the one making all the snake totems.
He's just the misunderstood anaconda. We need to make a movie
artist.
about his perspective of how things happen because it was probably very different, you guys. He's being attacked by boats of people. He's just trying to live his life.
All I'm trying to do is carve totems.
I just want to carve snake totems, okay, to my ancestors, and I have this boat of
All I'm
crazy
trying to
people.
do is disassemble all the man-made boats on the Amazon. I'm just trying to live. Yeah, his solution is to blow it up. And this is where I'm making the callback where I said, remember that he has one giant bag that he saves from the boat.
And it's
This
filled
is
with
the
dynamite.
thing he chooses. And it is just a bag of dynamite.
It's filled with dynamite. Okay, red flag, you guys. What is going on, John
Didn't
Voight?
bring clothes, didn't bring an extra pair of shoes, didn't bring tools. He
Just
brought a
one
bag
giant
of dynamite.
Of dynamite. Okay, that is suspicious. I would be like, buddy, it pretty seems like this was predetermined. It seems like
Exactly.
you were definitely thinking about this for a while. Maybe I was wrong, but something's not making sense.
Did you have a plan? But this is, I guess I meant it more like that's when she really displays her acting chops because she plays it pretty cool through the whole thing.
Yeah,
And then
this
her
whole-
rage becomes
yeah.
palpable in this moment because she's facing death and she's covered in monkey blood. And who would not be furious? So
I mean, I'm always curious what I would do if that situation, like, would I be calm or would I start saying
you
stuff?
always wonder what you would do if you were covered in monkey blood and being bait for an anaconda in an old lumber mill. You always
I
wonder
always am thinking about my reaction to how I would react to that. Would I be upset? Would I be like facing my death? Would I be like, should I try to just be friends with the anaconda? Like, what would I do at that point? It keeps me up at night.
The point is that the snake is exactly following the plan, comes to eat them, and at that moment the giant net drops from the ceiling, and now the snake is caught in the net, and it is going. I mean, do you think this snake is happy to be in this net?
I mean, this snake
Absolutely
is so
not.
smart, and he's like, no fucking way. I have killed so many of your friends out of pure spite because snakes have spite.
Right.
And they feel vengeance because of the
Right.
totem incident.
Right.
So he's like, Voight, no way. You don't know what you know. Because I am now not going to eat
Let me
these
show you a
guys.
little bit about what I know now, boy.
Let me show you what I know, John Voight. I'm about to explode your bones. Yeah, that's what I'm about to do, John. He looks him in the eyes and he's like, guess what, John? Not eating
about to
J-Lo and Ice
explode your
Cube.
bones.
Gonna explode your bones, Buster. Gathers around him.
Because in that moment, he literally locks eyes with John
Mhm.
Voight, and he's like, oh, you're the son of a bitch that made this net fall
Did you
down.
just throw this rope, buddy, on me, king of the jungle? I killed a panther. I will murder you. That's what he does. And so he goes. He gets
just
John
flicks
Voight.
the net off like this was supposed to hold me, John
Oh,
Voight.
snake
This.
expert. Did you sketch
This.
this in your book, buddy? Sketch this. Twirls around him, explodes all of John Voight's bones. Full blown exploding. Bone exploding. All right, guys, we've got something. We just wanted to say, like, Cadence. Did you know that we love educating our audience, right?
Right. I mean, this is part of why we really started this endeavor. We wanted to spread the education of B movies and media.
And guess what? Guess what, listeners? It's not just TV and movies that can be B. There are books out there. There are books out there that can be B books. And we love them just as much.
We call them books.
Books. The book. Right? We're a bunch of book readers. So yeah, I mean, that's going to be part of something. I mean, we're going to all be entertainment that we can bring you, no matter what the form. That is our goal, to educate
As long
you
as we
on-
are expanding your horizon.
Yeah, and educating on these amazing stories and characters and worlds. That's what we want to do. So I think we've got something special coming up.
We might have something up our sleeve.
Our
Our
I was gonna say like our sleeve, but my brain just like.
it really did just.
I had a
crop
stroke.
out
I had a
like-
stroke. I was just like, oh.
Bubba.
Because you kind of saw me try to something up our sleeves, and then I kind of fell down.
That was awesome.
Stay tuned, guys.
The Sidetracked podcast with host Deke Antrim is the newest podcast completely dedicated to all things movies. Conversations with guests are always a hilarious and informative way to deep dive into some of your favorite films, TV shows, and anything pop culture related. Check out our latest episode in which stars Sean Young and William Sanderson give behind-the-scenes stories never heard before from their experiences working on the sci-fi classic Blade Runner. Follow us at Sidetracked with an apostrophe D.stream, brought to you by the Forwardly Network.